Hello, Obophiles! Today, we're going to learn to take one of these guys and turn it into one of these guys. Let's learn how to wrap a reed. First, let's get our materials together. You'll need a spool of thread and something to tie onto. I'll use this clamp, but a chair would also do. You'll need a ruler in millimeters, a mandrel with a matching staple, a knife or scissors for cutting thread, and of course a piece of gouged and shaped cane and something to soak it in. I'll have a list of materials and where you can find them in the description. Next, it's time to put some cane in the water. Soak your cane for between 15 and 30 minutes. If you over-soak the cane, it will get soggy and be more likely to crack. I'm sure you can find something to do while the cane is soaking. Next, select the thread you want to use. I use FF gouge thread. As you gain experience, you'll collect all kinds and colors of thread. This one strikes my fancy. Now it's time to tie the thread onto your anchor. I like to use this clamp. It's really comfortable. Oboists have a knack for tying on at all kinds of places, however, but this really hurts my back. You can use any double knot to tie on your anchor, but I like to use this super fast knot I call the Kilmer knot. I'll make a whole other video showing you how to tie this knot step by step, but for now, I'll show you a couple different angles in case you want to try to figure it out for yourself. I'm telling you, it's just a really fast knot. If you want to learn to tie this speed demon of a knot, make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss this and other tutorial videos. Now, back to the fun of wrapping. You will need your mandrel for this next step. Notice that the mandrel and staple both have an ellipse shape at the top. If they match, they will fit snugly. The cane also has a flat side. How convenient, right? Line up and press the flat side of the cane with the flat side of the staple, and use your ruler to measure from the bottom of the staple to the top of the cane. Adjust the cane with your fingers so that it measures 73 millimeters at the top. Hold the mandrel and cane with your non-dominant hand. For me, it's my left hand. Use your dominant hand to grab the spool and pull it toward you until it's taut. Good thing you already tied onto the anchor, right? Place the cane and mandrel about halfway on your length of thread. Then center the setup so that the thread is a few millimeters before the end of the staple, and begin to wrap from under the cane to above the cane. I'll wrap a few lines toward the top of the cane until the metal of the staple is no longer visible. I can use my finger to correct the cane for symmetry. This step takes some finesse, so put on your fancy hat and make sure you're being patient until both sides of the cane seal. Pull on the thread spool and the mandrel towards you to tighten up your wrapping. If you're not sure, you can give it a pluck and it should sound like this. When both sides are sealed tight, it's time for the crossover. We have already wrapped toward the cane side, now it's time to wrap toward the cork side. You can push your mandrel past your torso's midline and wrap one time around what you have so far. Make sure you're wrapping toward the cork end of the staple. I'll show you the crossover again, slower, so that you can see the placement of the thread. At this point, I think it is helpful to make sure that the wrapping is at the height of the staple, especially when you are starting out. So compare it to either a finished reed or a fresh staple, and just find that the levels are the same. Now you can begin wrapping the rest of the way down to the cork. If your cane cracks as you are wrapping, it's not a huge deal, don't freak out, as long as the crack is beneath the thread. It only becomes an issue if the crack is above the thread. Even then, if you are starting out, finish the wrapping process. It will only prevent the cane from sealing properly. But if you need experience wrapping, finish wrapping. Finally, wrap until you are almost to the cork and tie a few knots. I tie at least 3 knots by wrapping the thread around my thumb and putting the spool through the loop. Now you can cut your blank free, and congratulations! You have tied a blank! Woohoo! Thank you guys so much for watching this Oboe Files video. If you were watching closely, you learned how to wrap a reed and make one of these blanks. If you know somebody who is also learning how to make reeds and could use help with their wrapping, please share this video with them. If you would like more oboe resources, including how to make reeds or maybe how to buy an oboe, you should check out my new website. You can find my information at oboefiles.com. Again, that's oboefiles.com. Also, check out my social media links in the description below. Thank you guys again so much for your support. I really appreciate it. In order to make sure that you don't miss any more of the oboe reed making steps or any other cool Oboe Files videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks a lot!